Hi everyone. I'm back here to the Taarafo project, but this time, I have a new member on the Taarafo team. Last time, we did any work in the Taarafo project. I was working with my friend Mahdi, which I have a session with him later today. But there's a lot of people around the world that are super interested in the software that we build. It's open source, it's impactful. People learn a lot of things about the engineering standard. And a lot of people that I think a lot of people reach out to me through YouTube, through social media, through even my cell phone, and they basically reach out and they say, hey, I'm really interested in doing this. This is the kind of zeal and the kind of passion that I expect to see in people that want to actually make the world a better place and actually improve their careers and help the people around them. One of these great people is my friend here, Ricardo Cruz. Ricardo, do you wanna introduce yourself to people? Ricardo reached out to me and said, hey man, I like that standard stuff that you're doing, and I like that software that you're building out there in the open. And I'm really happy to kind of be part of this. And I asked him, I said to him, Ricardo, do you just want to see our contribution model and just go ahead and build the system? He said, no, I want to pair with you. I want to do this back and forth, and I want to do all that kind of good stuff. And I thought, you know what, Ricardo looks like, I'll never say no to hanging out with people. So I love people so much. I'm not gonna say no to that. And here we are with Ricardo. Ricardo, tell people who you are and what you do and where you're from and your history. Tell people everything. Just don't give people social security numbers. That's a little
Uh,
bit too much. Go ahead. Go
oh
go
yeah,
ahead.
sure.
Go ahead.
My name is Ricardo Cruz. I'm from the island of Puerto Rico.
Uh-huh.
Not recently, but I already studied computer engineering, and most of my times I've been more of a .NET developer through my professional life. And I just came over and see. Usually, when I go and see YouTube videos, start learning. Um, I would see Hassan on the Studio Toolbox show, and I remember it was like the old data one, and that's
Mm-hmm.
how I noticed how passionate you were about the technologies that you presented,
Yeah.
and that's how I usually follow you on your own YouTube channel. And then I saw the standard, and I was like, whoa,
It's
this
a little
guy's
bit
really
bigger than just
passionate.
OData.
Yeah, no,
That's right.
definitely. You're definitely passionate about it, and I said to myself, you know what? Let's just ask. How can I help? And
Yeah.
I took the leap.
Yeah, I really
Here I
appreciate
am.
that. Yeah, 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 yeah. So you already are a .NET developer. You're gonna make my life a lot easier. Pairing between us is gonna be so easy. I'm gonna tell you this much though, like that in terms of track records and being actually able to kind of make my job is to make the standard simple and easy for people, right? That's the most important thing. I want to make sure that anybody, it doesn't matter whether you have 10 years of experience in the industry or 20 years of experience in industry, or you have 1 year or you have no years at all of in experience. I want to make this standard easy and digestible, but at the same time, just right before I jumped into this session with you, I was just talking to my friend Brian. I was telling him the beautiful thing about software is that you can make 5 levels of impact in just one shot, just by simply you and I just talking right now and writing code together. You're already having impact by being able to kind of show people the inside of your brain and mentoring people and learning from them, getting that feedback back and forth, because it's not one-way street, it's a two-way street. We're learning from each other. So there's that part. And then in the middle of that, you make a friend. You pair with people, and then you become friends with them. And I love people. I am crazy about people. If I love software engineering 1 point, I love people 1,000 points. And this is why I'm out here just talking to people about that. But then there's the third impact, which is the people that will be watching these videos. People maybe we will never meet. There are people, I see people that, are from countries I've never even heard of. People reaching out and saying, hey, I have a question about you. I am from this country. I don't know why a lot of people like to identify, hey, I am from this country. But that's okay. I see everyone as one big family anyway. But before I go full Bob Marley here, on people, just, there's the people that watch our videos and basically be impacted by the culture and the passion and all that kind of stuff because it's really infectious. And then there's the
Yeah,
fifth impact. The fifth impact are the people that will read and use our code. So that's the fifth impact. And then the fourth impact. And then the fifth impact, whether you want to profit out of it or not. So building software is not just, you know, uh, it, it, making profit out of software is just a teeny tiny impact and outcome that you can get out of building software. The very process itself is a social activity. You get to meet people and hang out with them and talk to them and all that kind of stuff. All right. So Ricardo, here's what we're gonna do today. Here's a beautiful thing about all of this. We can basically pull out a simple task that we have. In terms of Taarafo. Taarafo, just for the people that have never heard about this project and watching this video. I always try to make sure that my videos are atomic, meaning that if you've never watched anything before or after, the video is still somehow useful. Somehow entertaining, right? So
Yeah.
Taarafo is basically an open source social media platform. And the goal of this platform is to basically deproductize humanity. Today, we're being used as products. Basically, when you go on Facebook or you go on Twitter, whatever social media platform, and you look at the information and the timeline and all that, some people behind that algorithm, there's an algorithm sitting there that's collecting data about you. And based on that data that it's collecting, it builds something called a prediction model. And this prediction model basically sometimes understands people more than they understand themselves. Like some of these algorithms are so powerful, they can tell you, here is what you are most likely to choose if you were to be presented with two colors at this time of a day in a particular mood. This is how insane it is. You yourself wouldn't be able to answer that question. You said, I don't know, maybe blue, maybe red. I don't know. The algorithm will tell you there is 90% chance you will choose blue over red. When it comes to that. That's very dangerous. Why is that very dangerous? Because this is a weakness of us as humans. It doesn't accommodate to our imperfections as human beings. What it basically is doing is saying, okay, now that I have access to your keys, I know what you would select before you select it. Now I get to present you with all the things that I want you to have and the things that I want you to believe, in order for me to get you to do something. It's basically mind control. That's how social media is today. It's basically very enhanced, advanced mind control. And the people that are at Facebook, they say themselves, this thing is out of control at this point in time. It's an algorithm that's sitting there and we let it set it loose on some 2 billion users out there. That's you and me and our children, our families. And it's basically using their data day and night to do whatever it wants with them. We need to do something about that. We still want to be social because we are social human beings, we're social beings. We need to do something about that before it's too late. When Facebook went down for 6 hours, the world went to a halt. Businesses stopped. People weren't able to log into their apps. A lot of things have stopped, right?
Hmm.
That's a
Yeah.
really, really bad thing, right, Ricardo? That's a really horrible thing to have one box that if this box goes offline like this, everything
Everything
goes
goes
into a
down.
halt. That's
Yeah.
really, like, even from an architecture standpoint, like, forget about everything, okay? From an architecture standpoint, if you have your system over a DNS, kind of configuration, and people can't host their own instances anywhere they want. Like I'm very sure Facebook is distributed, but everything has to go through facebook.com. So now you created this single point of failure, right? That DNS, that domain name, that if any configuration failure happened in here, the whole system goes down. The system is still functional behind the scenes, but people can't find it, basically. So we're going to change this. We want to change this forever. We want to basically be able to go and say, let people spin up their own communities and let these communities connect to each other and let these communities choose whether they want to be connected to each other or not. Give people back the control of having, it's like if you have a household like this is a household and we're sitting here and we're trying to build something. It doesn't make sense really, to let someone come in with a camera and a microphone into your house, seeing and listening to everything you say and do, and then use that data to go sell it out to other people. If someone comes into someone's house, take a picture of their children and go out there and sell it to people, you sure as heck they'll be, subject to, criminalization, lawsuits and all that. That's literally what Facebook is doing every day. Whether you think that your pictures that you're uploading are private or not, some kid that just graduated out of college sitting there in Silicon Valley playing on his computer will be like, oh, let's see what's in this database. Oh, look at that, pictures, communications. That's terrible. That's really bad. We don't want to give people that kind of control. That's too much power, right, Ricardo? And Ricardo is coming
Sure.
here
Yeah.
all the way from Puerto Rico. Am I saying the name right? Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Puerto Rico. Okay. So he's
Yeah.
coming there all the way from Puerto Rico to kind of, help me out build this. And, in the midst of all this, we're going to talk about engineering standards and guidelines. We're going to build great software. We're going to show the world how amazing it is, how software connects people together and how can be a great social activity. So here's the deal. Ricardo, out of curiosity, do you have a Taarafo core pulled into your system? So for people that are seeing this for the first time, and I'm gonna let you do this if you didn't already, but I'm gonna share my screen here real quick. So here's a screen, here's a window, here's some code. I'm gonna go to github.com and I'm gonna pick up something called Taarafo core. Taarafo is basically an Arabic word that means get to know each other. That's really all it means. Get to know each other. Learn about each other instead of forcing yourselves into each other's lives. And there's a lot of code rubs in here, and I'll talk about that in a second. Ricardo, whenever you're ready, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to kind of, um, uh, whenever you're ready, just tell me if you have the code in, and we're gonna start doing one of those.
So right now I'm on GitHub right now. So
Mhm.
do I just go directly to the pull request?
Yeah, so here's what you can do. You can fork. First of all, you want to fork. This is a great question, actually. This is for contribution. You want to fork this repo here. So you want to click on fork. So it'll basically take a copy of this repository and bring it down to your own kind of, it takes it clones a copy of it under your account. So it takes all that code and takes a copy of it, right?
Okay.
And then all that you have to do really is to be able to go in and create some code and then create a pull request and then push that request against my repository. So just to clarify, because a lot of people have asked me about the contribution model. Let me just show you this real quick because this is really important. How GitHub works and how Git works in general is that there is this source repository. This is the source of truth, right? Source of truth, right? This is the repository. This is Taarafo, right? What
Mhm.
you do is that you fork that into your own. So that's basically a forked version. So this is forked source of truth. So that's your own copy, right? That shows up on your account. So if my repository is basically Hassan slash Taarafo.core, your repository would be Ricardo slash Taarafo.core because you got your own copy of it under your account. Now, what
Okay.
happens next? You go and create a branch. You're basically creating a little branch in here. Let's say you created a branch, maybe, code rub 123, like this. So you created a branch out of this, right? Once you created that branch outside of this guy, you can now propose that change back to the source of truth.
Okay. Via
And this,
pull request. Right.
yeah, that would be the pull request. So you
Yeah.
you took a copy, you create a branch, and then you're creating
Yeah.
it against. So what does that mean? This is why you'll see this. You'll see a lot of, like, people are not just taking copies, just for the heck of it. People go in there, like you'll see in the website. Do you see all of these forks? That's
Yeah.
people that took a copy of it and now they're creating a pull request against it.
Oh,
You
okay.
see what it works? Now this model fails in one single scenario, and you and I we're gonna have to fix this. If you are pairing with someone, you need to kind of give them access, as a contributor to be able to contribute to your branch and all that kind of stuff. That's the only thing where this doesn't work. So I'm not gonna ask you to kind of do the forking. I'm just doing this for the people that are working on single tasks on their own. But instead, I'm just gonna add you here as a contributor to this project. So I'm going to go up in here and say manage access. Here's a login. And do you know what your username is?
Our Cruz freelance.
rcruise freelance. Freelance.
Yeah.
This is you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So now you should have received an email. and this email will basically tell you, you need to accept that invitation. There it is. That's the email right there. That little buzz that
Yeah.
you just got. Yep, yep, yep.
1 second.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can do it from
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Yep. Here we go. And while you're doing that, I'm just gonna take a quick look at the open issues that we have here. So I have a lot of issues. There's this deep clone issue. Let's see. This is the standard target file line. Let's see. Reference. This is the standard where we talk about deep cloning. Okay, and then there is. So this one is in post service test dot logic. Let's go and see what's that all about. I think that might have already been taken care of. Let's see. Post dot logic, post service test dot logic. I think, is that a retrieval? Yeah, there it is. Perfect. I have a perfect task for you. That's gonna be the how we're gonna determine all that stuff. Nice.
Okay. I just accepted the invitation then.
Wonderful. Now that you accepted this, just go ahead and clone this repository. Like go to hassanhabib/taarafo.core and just copy that SSH guy. Or simply just go and say open in Visual Studio. So if you say open with Visual Studio, it should be able to do the same thing for you.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay.
Then the cloning.
There's a contribution here from Wellington. He's from Brazil. He basically said, "Oh, you guys changed the thing before I did." It says, no worries. I'll merge it anyway and give you points. So basically, the system automatically will give him points for it because he has a merge pull request, even though it has 0 files, because the changes that he was going for is already there. So I'm gonna give him that guy anyway because he already tried. He already did the work. So why not get rewarded
Yeah.
for it? All right. Are you good? Do you have the master main branch in there?
Let's see. Uh,
Mm,
yes, I do.
perfect. Here's the deal, my friend. We're going to do a very simple contribution today, and then things are going to get a little bit more, in depth as we go forward. The one thing I ask of you really, read the standard a lot. If I say to you next time we're going to be working on brokers or foundation services, whatever the case may be, go and read. I update this almost every day. Just this morning, I already updated the standard and added a few things in it. Huge thanks to Shri just for looking after, just terminologies and everything. Everything here is in a good shape. But all I want from you is just basically be able to kind of connect the theory to the practice. And to be honest with you, the engineering standard, it actually is nothing but practice. The most practical thing I've ever written. I do like to talk a lot, but if I were to select one of my works that's actually most practical, is this. See, this guy was just updated 9 hours ago, right? And Milan Tonicic, he basically, this guy also, I really appreciate your contributions in terms of, he basically makes sure that what I'm saying in the standard actually makes sense, because sometimes what I say, it's in my head, it sounds like it makes sense, but it's
Mm.
not English. It's not English at all. It doesn't. So this guy goes in and says, by the way, there you have a typo here, you have a problem there. I really appreciate that. Even right now, I guess he has another. Yep, he has another. See, he just opened up a PR, and see, he goes like this and says, "Dude, you're just misspelling this completely, or you're changing like how a right instance." See, I wrote instanance, and he's basically fixing it for me. So this is what I really appreciate about Milan. He's very smart and he's very kind to kind of go in and kind of contribute to the engineering standard and make sure things make sense. Go to the engineering standard, take a look at what we said there. It's being updated almost daily these days. It has over 190 contributions. So it's a very living, breathing kind of organism. But now that you have the code, do you want to, let me tell you what we're going to do today. We're going to do something really simple. Think of this as like onboarding thing. You're getting into a new project and this is
Mm-hmm.
day one. And this is kind of something to show for the people. If you're on an engineering team, whether it's in corporate, open source, whatever you are, the idea that you're bringing a new member on a team and you're having them sitting by themselves, just looking at a screen and telling them, just fix bugs or do documentation. Know that this is the worst way you can possibly treat a new member on your team. You're already killing their spirit. You're already telling them, listen, man, you don't really matter. Just read some documentation. Whether you figure something or not my problem. Have you ever seen this before, Ricardo? I've seen this a lot. I've been doing this for
Uh,
24
uh,
years. You know,
yeah, I know. So
so so
definitely.
instead I really enforce this pair programming mindset where people actually, I am here, I'm dedicating time for you, I'm sitting here with you, and we're gonna make progress together while we're actually learning new things. And it's not just you, like I said, it's a two-way street. We're learning from each other, as we go. So anyway, here's the deal, my friend. And I'm sorry for going on tangents here, but they basically say don't give a preacher a microphone. That's the problem. So you'll see a lot of these issues that are open in here, right? And these issues basically are opportunities, right? They're opportunities for someone who's coming into the project for the first time and they want to implement a feature or do something. And this is what this basically looks like. It basically says, hey, you're looking for something to do. Here's an opportunity. Just very recently, I know I told you about Get File before, but just for the people again that are watching this for the first time, Get File is basically a project that basically helps you kind of know where you stand in terms of your career and your growth, what kind of person are you and what you need to invest in to kind of build in more stuff. I just added very recently a new feature in here where it goes and says, hey, if you're looking to add in a little bit more to your code rub or brokers or controllers, here's some open opportunities, and it randomly selects something for you. Like if I click in here, it'll go find something for me, and
Mhm.
and it's not always the same. Like it shuffles around. We have on our standard compliant projects today, we have over 38 open opportunities, open issues that someone could just pick up and start pushing code towards that. So this is what you and I are going to do today. We're basically going to go in and pick up one of these issues that Shri pointed out, and based on that, we're going to go and see if we can make this work. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So here's what we're gonna need to do, my friend. In the code base that you have, now share your screen, go to Visual Studio. Make sure you have your font really, really big for the people that are watching on their phones. I want them to be able to learn about this and see this. Go ahead, your turn. Yep.
One second.
Yep, yep, yep.
Can you see my screen?
Let's see. Yeah, there's your screen. Yep, yep, yep.
I know how to zoom in the code editor, but I forgot how to do the for the
Don't even worry about that now. I usually just
yeah
I increase the font on the actual I increase the font on the actual screen, but we could talk about that when we basically do um uh the whole preparedness kind of thing
yeah
for the sessions to come. Anyway, all right, my friend. So first of all, let's create a little branch right out of this. So you see that little arrow at the very bottom that says master? Do you see that
yeah
guy? Click on that guy, and then click new branch, and then type this with me. Type in users. Do you see the screen? I don't see this. There should pop up a little screen there. Is it hidden?
I believe so. Yeah, it's hidden.
Okay, so just do this user slash and then your username in GitHub and then slash code rub dash deep clone.
So user slash my username
Yep,
and
your
then
GitHub and then code rub and then dash, all lowercase, everything lowercase. I can't see it, but I'll see it after you click enter. Just do code drop dash deep clone.
okay. Code
Sorry,
Okay.
code drop dash post dash retrieval dash deep clone, just to be specific.
Dash retrieval. Retrieval?
Retrieve all. Retrieve all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Perfect. And then you click OK. It should change that little thing at the very bottom here. Instead of master, it should say something else. Do you see it? There it is.
I hope
Perfect.
I wrote it right.
What? What did you say?
I hope I wrote it right.
Let's see. User. It should be users, but we can do that next time. It's okay. It's not a big deal. You know,
Okay.
user, and then you said this is your name, and then you did a slash. Did you do a slash after your username?
Oh, so I was supposed to use a slash. There we go.
Let's try it again. Let's try it again. I want it to be perfect. I want to get you used to it. So
Yeah.
slash users, and then slash your username, and then slash code drop dash posts dash retrieval dash deep clone.
Users, my
Mm-hmm.
username, Cobra, post, dash retrieve all.
So did you do a slash after your username as
Yep.
well? After you, okay,
Yep.
perfect. Yep, go for it. And then retrieval dash deep clone. Yep.
Retrieve all dash deep clone. Yeah, I
Yep.
got that.
Perfect. All right. There it
All
is.
right. Yeah.
Perfect. Look at you. You made it. Now, here's what we need to do. Let me show you the problem first, so
Yeah.
you understand what we need to do. The problem here is that when you're writing your test, you want to make sure that your test is bulletproof. Bulletproof meaning that your test really ensures the integrity of the functionality in that test, meaning that nobody, no matter who they are, where they are, no matter how smart they are, they can't just go and change the business logic and your test would still pass. Any change in the core functionality in your business logic should result in immediate failure in your unit test. Are we clear on that one? Good.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
let's go back to your screen here, and I'm going to show you something, a tiny thing that happens that is really, really, really crazy. Go to your post. Let's first run all the tests. So go view, click on view, and then go to Test Explorer. I usually just pin it. Yeah, there you go. You know your stuff. You're fine. And then let's just rebuild your solution just so these tests can appear, because right now you don't have your binaries already built. So let's just do a rebuild real quick. Or build. That works too. Here's one. You need to install .NET. So say the current SDK does not support targeting .NET 6. So you're gonna need to kind of install .NET 6. That means you need to download Visual Studio 2022. Okay?
Okay. I already had that downloaded.
You already
So
have it?
yeah.
Let's
Give me
try
one
it.
sec.
Yep.
Do this.
I was happy. I was gonna say, oh, I'm gonna take the task. I'm gonna get that point. You know, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just this. 1 second. Let me just
Yep, yep.
solution.
Hmm.
Before.
Uh-huh.
Then let me just
Yep.
transfer it
Take your
again.
time. No problem.
No, wait. Wrong one.
We have now over 70 open issues. Shri went all out with the opportunities, right? And I'm starting to create my own issues as well. So this is really great. This is all great.
All right. I'm going to do a read now.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Do you have it?
Doing the
Nice.
rebuild.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. We're in town. We're making it. We're making progress. We're going places. I don't know what was that ad. Was it Ford or Mercedes? Let's go places. I don't remember. Okay. All right. Here we go. That's it. let's run all these tests, all in all, and let's see if we can make things work. You could just click the play button as well. Do you see that play all button at the very left?
This
Yep,
one?
that guy. Yeah, run
Yeah.
all the tests. Yeah, let's go to town. Let's make it happen. Here we go.
All right.
We're kicking it off. We're going. We're going places. Let's see. Oh, did it die on you? How about right click and just play or something? Not on the acceptance. Let's try this one. Yeah, right click and then play.
On this one? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's very interesting. It hides your context menu when you try to run things. It didn't do that with
Yeah.
anybody else. That's very interesting.
Yeah. I just downloaded this just now. Just to be
Oh,
honest.
you just got that right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, try a rebuild again and then run the tests again. Sometimes this happens with me. I mean, still, it's this Visual Studio version is a preview, so I don't expect it
Yeah.
to do much. But that's the beautiful thing about this. We're always living on that bleeding edge kind of technology, so we can try things out and it fails and we get frustrated, and then the people building Visual Studio will come back and say, "Wow, that's very interesting." You know, that's all good. It's all good news. Okay, so it rebuilt. Now can we run all the tests? This is
Yeah. I think
promising.
it's. I think it. Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Yay!
Yeah.
You never know with this thing, right? Okay, so you have
Yeah.
every. This is the first step that I always do. No matter what you're doing, if you're pulling code, and I promise you, you will never pull from master in any standard compliant repository and it will fail on you unless you have a missing dependency. Man, I've
Mm.
lived through some time where I pull in the code base and nothing works. Oh, you need this configuration. You need this environment variable. Oh, you need to install this thing. Oh, are you
Yeah.
onboarded? I'm like, why the engineering experience is so terrible with this project? I want to make it fun. Clone, build, run, pass. It's just as simple as that, no problem there. Okay. So we have the test passing. Now let me tell you what's going on. Let's go to the services area.
Services. All right.
hmm And let's go into
Foundations.
foundations. Let's go into posts and then go into post service. So this service here basically has two capabilities. It allows us to retrieve all the posts in the database in an iQueryable. So if you thank you for zooming in. If you scroll down a little bit, um, look at this second function that says retrieve all posts. Retrieve all posts.
Okay.
Okay. Now here's the deal. If anybody decides to tamper with the data that's coming back from the database, the current test won't catch it. The current test won't catch it. Let me show you what that means. Put a squiggly bracket after the fat arrow after the try catch. Do you see that yep. Put a squiggly bracket there and then take a new line and then assign whatever this function gives back in a variable. Just type in iQueryable of posts. Var is fine too. It's up to you. Mhm.
Oh. Okay. Let's do the.
And then it takes a post, and then just say storage posts or something.
Storage.
Storage posts. Yep. Equal. And then put a semicolon after select all posts, and then close
Squiggly
the
bracket.
yeah, and then do return, and then return.
Oh. Oh yeah. Gotcha. Return.
Right?
Storage
Return.
post.
Yeah, storage posts. Right. Now here's the deal. Here's the problem with this approach. The problem here, my friend, is that I can literally do anything to these storage posts and nothing would happen, right?
Mm.
So in between these two lines, just do anything to these storage posts, like, I don't know, nullify them, for instance. Let's try it with nullify.
Like storage post dot
Yeah,
nullify.
no, just equal null. Just equal
Oh.
null. Yep, run the tests. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see if that does the trick. I think it would. Oh, let's see what error we got there. Should return posts, actual post not to be null. Let's do this. Let's try this. Double click inside the test itself, like double click on that failing test. Yep.
This one, yeah.
Yep. So this guy here, I'm just making sure that we haven't really, so okay, so this is storage posts, expected posts, and you're returning storage posts, and then we're going and saying retrieval posts, whatever comes back, and then verify. Okay, let's tamper with it. Instead of nullifying it, let's try this. Let's try to add a new item to it. So we're gonna turn it into a list and add just a random item. So go back to the business logic, and let's just do this. Let's go and say new post. So say .toList.add.
So storage post.
Yep. .toList.
To list.
Yep.
Add.
Yep. And then just type in new post or something in there.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you put in there. Just a simple element, right? And this add there, this guy, this add in there, what does it return for the add? It returns a void. So you added an element to that post, right? Storage post. And then we're going and saying, oh, let me return that storage post. Let's run again and see what happens. Just out of curiosity.
All right.
Now here's the trick. Put a breakpoint on, go inside the test and then see that it passed, right? That's not okay. Go inside the should return posts and put a breakpoint there before the storage broker mock. Yep. And then right click on the test and write debug.
On test.
Yep. Right click debug. Let's see how many posts we have in the expected posts first. How many do we have here? It's not showing the pop-up, so I think you're gonna have to do like a, does it say?
Yeah, I can see that it's not showing, but I can actually see it from here.
So how many does it have?
4.
4, right?
Yeah.
Now step all the way until you reach beyond actual post equal post service dot retrieve all post. Like keep stepping in, like out, yeah, and then take another step out. Yep. And then how many actual posts that does it have?
4 as well.
Still 4. So the change that we made didn't actually the change that we made didn't actually make the impact. Let's go back to the business logic and do another change.
All right. Let me stop. Okay.
Yeah, we could potentially create, like, I want to change the value in this storage post in a way that the test itself wouldn't be able to do it. So here's what we can do. I want to be able to basically add to a post to this storage post and then just kind of like continue to whatchamacallit. Here's the deal. Type in var post list. Assign that .to list to a var, basically.
Okay.
Okay. And then let's add a new post to that storage list variable. So new line storage list dot add. Yep, storage list dot add. And then let's just new post. And then let's go and say storage posts equal storage list as queryable.
Okay, so storage post equals
storage list
as queryable.
As queryable. No, it's all one line. like dot as queryable.
Oh.
Yep, you're fine. And then and then you're returning storage post, right? So there is no changes there. Okay. Remove line 43. We don't need that anymore. So you see what I did there? I created a new list, and that list I added an item to it, right? And then I went in and reassigned that test to storage post. That's a
To serve.
change.
Yeah.
Let's run the test again. Let's see. If the test pass, we're gonna need to kind of, rethink our strategy, but let's see what that does. You're in debug mode, right?
Yeah, we should go to
Okay.
the breakpoint.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Give it a second there.
Okay. Expected posts.
Yep. How many do you have?
On the expected post, I got 5.
Great. Now let's keep going beyond the actual post. What's actual post?
I got 6.
Ah. Now see if this test would still pass.
All right.
Oh, look at that. A collection of 5 items. How? Because did it maintain? Oh, because your expected posts are still iQueryable. So it's still executing. This pattern won't work with retrieval. It will work with more materialized items. So if you stop this test and revert back your changes, let's try it on something else that is more materialized. So go to the logic aspect of it, the add post aspect. So revert all of this. Here's an easy way you can do it. If you click on that 0, 0, 0 at the very bottom, do you see that 0, 0 at the very
This one?
bottom of your? Yep, that guy. Yep, yep. Is it
Uh,
coming?
yeah, but I have viewed outgoing, fetch, push.
Does it have revert?
No, but I could do it from
You could do it from here. That's right. Yep.
right click, undo changes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to the add post test. So let's go to the other test that says add post. This one will definitely fail for DeepClone. So go see those 12 tests passing on top of add post async.
Yeah.
Just pick up that guy.
All right.
So let's see. Do you have a test? Go to the logic one of it. Should add post, the top one. Did we do DeepClone here? Oh, we did DeepClone. Oh man, you don't have a chance there. Let's find out another let's find another potential issue in this repository. What I'm trying to do is that if the list that's coming back is materialized, it will basically let you do that. So there's grouping service registration. Oh wait, this is a simple change that we can do. I'm just trying to find. Yeah, let's do that. This is DeepClone for. Yeah, let's try that. Let's go to, here's a simple thing for you. We can go into the startup.cs, startup.cs.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so if you scroll down, do you see this part where it says add logging, add services, add all of this? We
Yeah.
normally group those into their own functions. So let me show you a cool way to do this. Select all the brokers instantiations,
Control that.
just the brokers, not the services.
Oh, my bad.
And then control, not the DB context either. That's outside of the scope. We're just wanting the brokers. Yep. Control period and just say add brokers. Nice. And then the same thing for the service. Add services. Perfect. Perfect. Now you can create a PR just for this piece. This is a very simple task where you just can do this. And then I'm gonna go back to that DeepClone. I'm gonna tell you what was I talking about. Yep. You can say, you can create a new branch out of this, like out of this branch that you're in, because that branch is not DeepClone anymore, right? So you can go into a new branch and just type in user/Ricardo and then /codrop/grouping brokers dash services.
Cobra, right?
Yep, codrop dash grouping services dash brokers.
Cobra dash grouping dash
Services dash brokers.
search brokers. Gotcha.
Yep.
All
And
right.
then you can now you can go in the commit and say code drop colon and then just type in group brokers and services. So in the commit, yeah, code drop
Like this,
colon.
right?
Yep,
All capitals.
exactly like this. And then just
Yeah.
type in, it's a title. It's like a title in a newspaper, right?
Yeah.
So type in grouping brokers and services. Okay,
All right.
so you need a P there and make the B and the S in brokers and services uppercase. It's a title, right? Yep. And then you need a P, like it's not growing, it's grouping.
Ah.
All right, that's it. Commit and push. That drop down should give you commit all and push kind of
Yep.
capability. All right, now go to the web page, share your screen on GitHub web page, and basically try to create a pull request. Share your screen first so people see how you're doing it.
Yeah. Second. You see my screen now?
Yes, now I can. Yep.
All right.
Just you see, you should have something in here. So this is now you have push access to blah blah. Now refresh that page. It should show like a green banner there that tells you, yeah, there you go. And then do compare and pull request. Perfect. And then reference the issue. So click request on Hassan, on my name. That basically means you need my feedback. Do you see on the right side?
Oh, this one.
Yep, click that guy. Right? That's one part. And then do you see under linked issue, use closing keywords in description to automatically close issues? No, I want to assign an issue actually. If you scroll down a little bit, does it give you the option to attach an issue to it? Try this. Try to do hash in the description. Do hash and it should kind of pull out. Yeah, there you go. And then let's see. It's okay. Create it and we're gonna assign the issue to it. Now just click just create pull request.
Just create the pull request as it is,
Yeah,
or
yeah, just
okay.
click create pull request. Yep.
Okay.
There you go. So you see this? Now you have this, you have this pull request created, right? Now I want to assign an issue to it. Do you see that linked issue on the right side? The very bottom. Do you see
This
it?
one.
Yeah, drop down that guy and see if you can attach an issue to it. Yep. And then grouping services registration. Do you see it?
This one, right?
Yep, that's it. Step out of it. Done. Now I get to see, now you created your first contribution. Now I can go down here and say, I can take that screen here and say like this. And I can go and say, check this out. We can do two things today for this. So this is your contribution. I'm just gonna look at your code like this and say, oh, he just grouped these together. That's perfect. Make sure you want to push the privates to go under the publics. So the privates declaration should go at the very bottom of the file. Let's go back to your code, share your screen with your code and modify that. I'll leave you a comment here, say it, private methods should be at the very bottom of any file. So I left you one comment in there and then go ahead, that's you. Let's do that. Okay. Now here's one more thing. Do you see that method that has one line in it? If you scroll down a little bit. Do you see that one? Make it a fat arrow.
That arrow. Yeah.
Yep. You know the stuff. Put the fat arrow next to it at the top line, next to services. It looks better this way. Mhm.
Just next to it to the. Okay.
Yeah, just break after the arrow. So break services to the next
Ah.
one. There you go. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
You got it. Now push that change. Go ahead, do commit. Click on that pencil at the very bottom, and it will just tell you to. You can say code rub colon and then address code review. Perfect. Push that guy over. You can now go back to the comment that I left on GitHub, and you can basically go and say addressed. It's taken care of. There you go. So this is a refresh, and here you go. Ah, you have one extra line in here. Remove extra line. See how meticulous we are? We just make sure that the code is actually really, because the thing is, the more consistent your code becomes, the easier it is for people to be able to detect any issue. This is how my eye catches it. I'll be like, oh, careful, empty line. So you see that line 78? Take that guy out.
78.
Yep, there you go. Now
I
push
also
that.
remove. I
Nope,
also
you don't.
removed.
Nope, you don't need to remove the line here. This is okay. Multi-liners can have an empty line between them, and I'll share with you the C# coding standard at some point in time. This is another thing. It's just not just the standard, but the coding style standard. Okay?
I've been trying to look for that one because I know you mentioned it
I'll send
before.
you that
Yeah.
one. I'll send you that one.
Just removing line.
Remove extra line. Yeah, just remove extra line.
Extra lines.
Uh-huh. Okay, perfect. So now if I go back here, I can refresh again. I'm gonna look at your code real quick. This is the code review process. Just look here. Okay, it's all good. You know, there's no changes. This is all clean. Yep, sounds good to me. I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna say, okay, for this code, for this pull request, I'm just gonna approve it. So I'm just gonna go here and say merge pull request, use administrator privileges, merge, and that will automatically close the issue. So this issue will disappear. See, we have only 3 now. But
Yeah.
there's more to it. Now let's go back to this deep clone thing, right? The deep clone part here is, you know, why was I talking about to you about this deep clone? I'm not just trying to kind of haze you since you are the first time on the team. I'm not trying to do that. Let me show you what this is about. If it's not an executable kind of, you know, deferred execution kind of type, which is, you know, what happened here with the iQueryable. So yeah, you got always gonna learn something. Let me show you how this works. So this is Taarafo here. I'm gonna go and pull the latest from master. So this sync. There you go. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so this is master. Now watch this. If we didn't do this change here in the add, because this is not deferred execution model, this is actually materialized. So if I leave this guy like this, I'm gonna take that deep clone out of here. Like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go and run my test. This test will pass. It will be very happy and it will pass because why? Because I haven't really tempered with the content of that object, right? But now see what happens when that materialized already materialized object gets changed. Okay, so everything is passing, right? All good. You know,
Yeah.
trees of green, all good, right? Now I'm gonna go into the business logic here. And I'm gonna do this. Watch this. Watch. I'm gonna go here and say, hey, post.id,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna give it a completely new ID. Watch this. I changed it into a completely invalid value, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think my test will be happy about that? Let's find out. Ah, why did I click debug? Come on, man. See, just the things that we do. Mistakes are scarier than monsters. Let me stop this real quick here and let me run this again. Look, the test is what? The test is
Yeah.
saying, oh,
Pass.
nothing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Why nothing is wrong? Because the reference of this object that I passed in is happy. Now check this. If I do deep clone like this, I did a freeze on this value. So it's not the reference anymore. I dereferenced it. right? I basically said, hey, this is a different reference, dereference. What that basically means is that whatever address in memory that you were referring to about the object that's coming back from the database is a completely different address than what is expected. They have the same values, but they have completely different
Yeah.
addresses in memory, different references. Now watch this.
Mm.
If I go and run this now, what do you think is going to happen?
That's
It's
gonna
going to
fail.
freak out. Watch this. Look.
Yeah.
So this applies only, this is what I learned today, you know, this applies only to situations where the type that you're working with is already materialized. It's not a deferred execution. It's not an IEnumerable or IQueryable or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. Okay. Your first contribution, my friend, congratulations. You know, this should be really fun. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna start getting a little bit deeper into more and more things, in our next sessions. And I hope that you found this entertaining. This is just, always, you know, they say if they give me an axe and 10 hours or 9 hours to cut a tree, I would spend the first 6 hours kind of sharpening my axe. I think it was Abraham Lincoln or someone like that that said this. This is sharpening the axe. This is us sitting down and saying, "Hey, let's really hone in and let's really work on our skill set." What do you think about that session? Do you think pair programming is cool? I hope it was
Oh,
cool.
most definitely. I wish I had more of these.
We will do more and more of these. We will build a lot of projects together. And then hopefully at some point in time, you'll be able to share this with the world. Anyway, I have to run to another session, but it was always fun and really, really a pleasure meeting with you, Ricardo. And I look forward to building something that's really
Yeah.
amazing for the world together. Now, you and me and Mahdi and anybody else who wants to contribute to this project, everybody is more than welcome to kind of jump in, and I will have pairing sessions with everybody. And then maybe at some point in time, people are going to have pairing sessions with people, and this is how our team grows and our culture, our engineering culture is spreading around the world. One last ask of you, is there anything I could have done better? Give me my feedback. Anything that you could feel we could have done better in this session? Go ahead.
Uh,
Mm,
I mean, I've been watching your
I-
videos a lot, and
mm.
I already got the flow of you, so I have no
You know
problems.
you know the flow. You know the
Yeah, I
deal.
know the flow. I know the deal. Yeah,
I
but
know it's a little bit putting people on spot and hey, give me feedback in front of 5,000 subscribers.
I mean, but if I do have some questions, of course I'm gonna ask them. But yeah, as of
Yeah, this
now,
is it.
yeah,
And this is what
we're
I tell
good.
a lot of people. This is the real deal, right? I don't stage this. I don't prepare for any of these videos. I
Yeah,
literally I literally jump from one video to the next, from one video to the next, from one video to the next. Do you know why I do that? Because I also want people to understand that senior engineers, even if you've been around for 20 years, you're still going to make mistakes. The compiler
hmm,
is still going to embarrass you. It's going to tell you you're wrong, which is going to humble you, and we're just gonna figure it out. We're just gonna figure it out together.
it's
Uh,
authentic.
yes. So, since is this your first contribution to any standard compliant repository ever?
First ever.
First
I
ever.
never ever done it. I was
Okay.
always curious, but never done it. Yeah.
Okay. So let me tell you this. And is this your very first time you do open source as well?
Yes.
Nice, nice. So this
Yeah.
is fun. So here's what I'm gonna ask you to do. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to do something. Go and share your screen. Go to getfile.com.
Here, 1 second.
Yep, I'm here. Yep.
Let me share my screen. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a digestion service that is time driven in the background, right? That will take care. Let's fix some things for you first. Go to your github.com and just add a name, add an actual name to your profile. So go, yep, click on that guy and then click edit profile and then actually add a name. Oh, you already have a name in there. Maybe
Yeah.
it's still trying to pick up your data. That's okay. Now
Yeah.
go back to get file and just refresh that page.
Yeah. I noticed that it didn't have the name that I was trying to do it. Wow.
And this is the exact same account, right? What happens if you
Yeah.
do like Control Shift R, basically?
Sure. Release the cache a bit.
Yeah, it might take a little bit of time to kind of digest because what happens that there's a backend service that will
Mm,
try to pick up your changes, and as soon as it picks up these changes, your profile will start having an actual like right now you doesn't seem that you have any participations, right? But as soon
yeah.
as your profile gets in, it will start showing up these results in getfile.com. You know, welcome to Getfile. You
Mm,
have all these new contributions, and this is the exact same account that you used to push your code, right? I'm assuming, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if you give it like a second or two, let's give it one more refresh just for funsies. It's time driven based. It's not event based yet, but we're working on this project and making sure that it picks up all the contributions. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. That's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope this was fun for you. I look forward to working with you tomorrow. And thank you guys for watching in, just seeing all the actual real life process of engineers getting to know each other and working with each other and learning from each other. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video. Take care.
Most definitely. Take care.